taught according to the state. You read about the current news in a regulated press, and you pay a tax you do not owe to please the IRS. Your money is no longer made of silver nor of gold. You trade your wealth for paper so your life can be controlled. You pay for crimes that make our nation turn from God and shame. You've taken Satan's number. You've traded in your name. You've given government control to those who do you harm so they could burn down churches and seize the family farm and keep our country deep in debt. Put men of God in jail. Harass your fellow countrymen while corrupted courts prevail. Your public servants don't uphold the solemn oaths they've sworn. And your daughters visit doctors so their children won't be born. Your leaders send artillery and guns to foreign shores and send your sons to slaughter fighting other people's wars. Can you regain the freedoms for which we fought and died? Or don't you have the courage or the faith to stand with pride? And are there no more values for which you'll fight to save? Or do you wish your children to live in fear and be a slave? O sons of the Republic, arise, take a stand. Defend the Constitution, the supreme law of the land. Preserve our great republic and each God-given right. And pray to God to keep the torch of freedom burning bright. As I awoke, he'd vanished in the mist from whence he came. His words were true. We are not free, but we have ourselves to blame. For even now as tyrants trample each God-given right, we only watch and tremble, too afraid to stand and fight. If he stood by your bedside in a dream while you were asleep and wondered what remains of the freedoms he'd fought to keep, what would be your answer if he called out from the grave? Is this still the land of the free and home of the brave? God bless you, and God bless this republic.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Intelligence Report. I'm Mark Hornke.
And I'm Donald Betcher.
One day closer to victory for all of our brothers and sisters, both on and behind the lines in occupied territories, west, east, south, and north. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to us on the Micro Effect Network in the morning. We're also on AM and FM micro stations, CB base stations, and Ultranet Technologies east, west of the Mississippi, southern and central Alaska. Also, we're on KU-band satellites, so go to the Micro Effect Network's website to find out the coordinates, or listen, pay attention. We'll have different postings through the day here on the network, so if you've got a satellite system, you probably have KU-band, you just don't know it. A lot of the C-band systems have KU capability. You just have to take a look, follow instructions accordingly, break out your manuals, and look at your piece of machinery, your receiver there. Well, Don, today's date is?
Oh, today's 9 July, you guys, and if you bend your ear, listen real close. Oh, I know that went out crisp over the air. One in the chamber. The slide is closed, the well is filled, and the perimeter is secure.
And now we can offer equal opportunity, of course, if we have bad guys that decide they want to, well, do bad things. So, we have an interesting day here with Weapons Wednesday. Real quick, right off the bat, centerfire systems, guys. I've been trying to, we've been trying to work out ways to give you a little more firepower. Okay. Well, lo and behold, centerfire systems acquired. Don't know how much is left, but they acquired a quantity of the short shot shells, short 12-gauge shells. Now, way back in the day, in fact, it was back in 1991. There was a company, Lock and Load Distributors, and what they had are some of the first Micro 12 loads. Now, these were 2-inch shells. They were full-strength loads, 3.5 dram equivalent. They were in number 4 and double-aught buck. Now, what's interesting about this, Don, the reason I bring this up is because they have, with Aguila manufactured boxes, they have at Centerfire Systems short 12 in buckshot and in 7.5 shot. Now, there's been some questions, but the testing that was originally done, up to and including using a Beretta 1200 FP semi-automatic shotgun, these little short shells worked flawlessly in a semi. There's been a lot of questions about that. Now, the Aguila ammunition is factory ammunition. It's Aguila of Mexico, which is actually Remington of Mexico, by the way, for those of you who don't know the history of Aguila. And basically what you have here is if you have a 5-shot 12-gauge, and let's say it's a 3-inch Magnum magazine, well, guys usually carry, like say 5 or 4, and one in the tube, one say, in the barrel. However, the configuration, what you're looking at here, Don, is about 2.5 for every 1 shell that you'd normally load or keep in service. Now, it could be 2 or 2.5, depending on the size of the chambering. In other words, you have a 2 3/4, or do you have a 3-inch Magnum barrel? And either way, typically what they do is they allocate magazine space accordingly.